Good morning, baseball. It is your boy NMR Sports here, as always, joined by my lovely co-host Franklin P. Helmstetter. I'm digging the jersey, my man. We got a
Thanks, bro.
little slow pitch softball action there, beer league.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a little more competitive, not to flex or anything, but
Oh
the
shit! All
free
right.
free agents, bro. It's the most common name of like any softball team, but yeah, man, it's
I
cool.
guess so. We learn
Yeah,
something new every day. Well,
yeah,
I
there you
just
go.
got back from Miami, so we did miss a day. I tried to get Frank to partner up with somebody else, but he was a little shy. We didn't end up doing it on my off day. So, we are back. We're going to talk a little bit about my Miami experience, but first, before we get into today's video, don't forget to leave a like, help it reach as many baseball fans as possible, and subscribe for more MLB content. We post stuff every single day. 9 a.m. we'll have a Good Morning Baseball for you every single day. We are 2 subscribers away currently from 2,000 on this channel. 1998, the year Franklin P. Helmstetter was brought into this earth. Yeah, and today's episode is, of course, brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. I've been winning some good money, man. I know it's like, you know, you're sponsored by this person. You wanna make them sound good. Last 4 days, man, their daily contests, $25 I won, $75 I won the next day, 25 the next, and then 30 last night. I've been making some bank, bro. So you guys should too. Sign up with the promo code NMR or use the link in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. That's free money. They're going to double your cash and give you some free entries into their daily contests. Those daily contests are the ones I've been winning the money on. I've gotten a little screwed though. I had a Jock Peterson home run that would have been a home run in any ballpark except for Oracle. And of course he was playing in Oracle Park. So betting's tough. But anyways, I love Thrive Fantasy. I've been playing it every day. You should too. So without further ado,
Heck
let's
yeah.
get into the video. And I guess not the video, but the episode of Good Morning Baseball. Start talking about what happened around the game of baseball last night. Well, we started it off with the Detroit Tigers, the red-hot Detroit Tigers, absolutely demolishing the Cleveland Guardians. 8-2 victory there. The White Sox won the Battle of the Central there, 9-8 victory over the Minnesota Twins. We had the Cubs squeak out a victory over the Brewers there. Josh Hader getting his second loss of the season. He's had a little bit of a rough patch recently. ERA ballooned all the way up to 1.63. I think he's officially cooked. Just past them, we got the Blue Jays finally taking one against the Oakland A's. They had a little bit of a struggle there. Adam Simber getting the W in that one. Jordan Mormano picked up his 18th save as well. We had the Mets get an 8-3 victory over the Cincinnati Reds. Now, you'd think that's a pretty normal game, right? They actually won 8-3 in extra innings. So, a little bit of an implosion there by the Reds bullpen late. Angels with a W over the Marlins. Shohei Ohtani, just electric. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Orioles get a 2-1 W over the Texas Rangers. Glenn Otto handed his 5th loss of the season. Nats win a squeak by on the Phillies with a 3-2 victory over them. Josiah Gray pitched very well. Yankees, man, 16-0 victory over the Pittsburgh Pirates. We didn't end up talking about this one, so real quick, we'll just go over it. 2 grand slams in this one. The ball was flying here. Judge hit a grand slam. Aaron Hicks hit a grand slam. Stanton hit a home run. Everything was going right for the Yankees in this one. Just free runs,
Really?
man. They were just going
Wow.
crazy. Rays with a 7-1 victory over the Red Sox over in Fenway. We had the Braves finishing off a sweep of the Cardinals, 3-0 victory there. The Royals 7-4 victory over the Houston Astros. Nice little victory there for the Kansas City Royals, cooling off those red-hot Astro bats. Giants 7-5 victory over the Diamondbacks. I watched the most of that one. That was a good game. And then the Rockies couldn't hold off the Dodgers. 2-1 victory there. Walk-off victory. Mookie Betts, the walk-off single to beat the Rockies. Actually finish off the sweep there as well. So that was a lot of games. Let's do a little deeper dive into some of them. First off, I just got back to Miami. I just got back from Miami, I should say. I just wanted to throw a little icebreaker out there, break the tension. I feel like there's a lot of packed up tension here. Let's just do a little icebreaker.
Yeah.
Miami, Lone Depot Park, my 13th MLB stadium that I've been to. I'm not 100% sure if that's the correct number. That's just the number I came up with in my head. But I still haven't been to a lot. I don't think there's a lot of stadiums you haven't been to either. So give me your top 3 bucket list parks that you would want to go to. If you had a unlimited stack of cash, what do you think?
Totally. I think my first 3, like priority wise, that I haven't been to. Well, I'm moving to Denver soon. I really want to go to Coors Field, so that's definitely within the realm of possibility. Definitely going to happen within the next year, so that's exciting. I really want to see Fenway. I haven't been to Fenway, so that's pretty classic one.
I'm wearing the shirt.
There you go. Yeah, there you go, man. And then lastly, I'd say Wrigley as well. Another that's classic that I just haven't gotten to. Never been to Chicago, so want to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Fenway's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful park. It's definitely an experience. It's not like any park you'll ever go to. I mean, it's nothing like the parks that I know we've been to. We've been to most of them together. So, for me, I mean, number 3, I'd probably put Wrigley at number 3. I really want to go there. Like you said, Coors, man. Coors it looks like a beautiful park. I feel like it's not on the top of everybody's list, but it looks like a very pretty ballpark. But number 1, no question in my mind, PNC Park, man. What a beautiful ballpark in Pittsburgh.
It's a good one.
Yeah, hopefully I get out there next year. I think the Angels are going to play the Pirates next year, so I'd love to get out there. I am going to go to Truist at the end of this year. I'm very excited to see that one as well. I've heard good things about that. I was talking to my dad on the phone earlier. He was talking about Kauffman Stadium being on his bucket list. So, lots of good stadiums. Let us know in the comments, guys. What is your home stadium, and what's your favorite stadium you've been to? I think I speak for the both of us when I say the best one we've been to is Oracle in San Francisco. Oh, yeah. That park is just beautiful. It's breathtaking, man. Still at the top of my list. Fenway's a close second, but, man, Oracle is just a thing of beauty. Nothing beats it. Well, speaking of things of beauty, Shohei Ohtani took the mound in Miami yesterday, and every time this man takes the mound, just the most electrifying player to watch in all of baseball. Dominant again on the mound. I know the Marlins don't have the best offense, but 7 innings pitched for him today, or last night. 10 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed, 3 walks, and then at the bat, he just did a little something. 1 hit, 2 RBIs, 1 run scored, and a stolen base. He actually had a go-ahead RBI single, then went out on the mound, had a 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts. One of them was on a 101-mile-per-hour fastball, by the way. Now he has lowered his ERA to 2.44 on the season, and he has 111 strikeouts in just 81 innings pitched. That is elite. He is just dominant. So we already know that Shohei Ohtani is going to win the MVP again. I'm sorry if you disagree with me. You can let me know in the comments, but there's just no conversation to be had. Like, Aaron Judge hit ball far, but it's no conversation. Ohtani has the MVP. Is it time to start campaigning for Shohei for Cy Young? What do you think? Is there a chance he wins it this year? No chance? What do you think?
I mean, realistically, I think there is such a thing as like voter fatigue and kind of that concept of like Ohtani, if he does, have the MVP in the bag, which I think we both agree that it would be crazy for him not to win that. I don't know if it'd be incredible if MVP and Cy Young were won by the same person. But he's definitely in contention with like top 3 there. I think McClanahan still probably has the edge here. I'm very impressed with his season. But I mean, he's damn close for sure. I mean, ERA is not everything here, but like ERA wise, he's still, a little bit farther up than McClanahan, and I'm trying to think of other metrics, but for the most part, I think like Cease is up there as well. But they're definitely kind of like those 3 guys there that I think for the American League are going to be contenders. But I don't know. I don't really see him winning it as phenomenal as he's been pitching. Perhaps, if this is like, because Ohtani does have his bad starts, he's not always, he's had a few bad starts, but if he can really like turn around after the All-Star break and like only have these dominant stretches, then there's definitely a conversation to be had for sure.
Yeah. I mean, when he takes the mound, like, today was kind of interesting, though, because I feel like usually if he starts off slow, he doesn't have a dominant start like he did today. He had a really tough start to the game. His pitches were not working well, gave up a run in the first inning, and you just kind of figured it was going to be one of those days where you just can't get outs. But he settled down, man. I think he had 20 plus swings and misses in that game. His splitter, this is vintage Shohei Ohtani. That splitter was just working ridiculously for him. The Marlins just couldn't touch anything he was giving them. When they finally zoned in on the splitter or the slider, he blew 101 miles per hour past him. So when he's on, I argue there's no one better in the league when he's on. But can he get the consistency in there like a guy like Sandy Alcantara on the opposing team had? McClanahan's been very consistent, I agree. My biggest problem with him in the Cy Young race is he's in a 6-man rotation, so I don't think he'll ever reach the amount of innings a guy like McClanahan will. Like, McClanahan could eat 200 innings this season. Zach Wheeler did it last year. It's pretty few and far between when a pitcher reaches that mark nowadays, but I feel like Ohtani's ceiling would be 160, maybe 165 at the end of the year, innings pitched. So I think that's going to be a big problem with the baseball writers when they vote. And I've also noticed they don't love strikeouts. Chris Sale was so dominant as a strikeout pitcher all those years. Trying to think of other good examples, but I feel like they value wins more than strikeouts, which is kind of stupid. But you got a bunch of old white dudes in a room voting for who's the best pitcher. So strikeouts are sort of like a home run metric. So
totally.
So I don't know. I could definitely see a top 3 Cy Young finish for him, top 5 probably, but winning it, I don't think he'd be able to do it in a 6-man rotation like he is. But
but it's exciting to see Ohtani, like you said, regardless of how that comes out. It's exciting to see him because I think ultimately that just comes with pitching and innings and working and kind of that maturity on the mound to be able to not, get flustered when you start off poorly and be able to gain your composure back and everything like that, which is something he struggled with. So potentially this could be a lot of growth for him, which I think is exciting to see nonetheless. So
yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, I think that inning, like I said, that I tweeted about it, I think it just sums it up perfectly for the MVP race. Aaron Judge can hit a grand slam, come out the next inning, and watch the pitcher give up 5 runs. Shohei Ohtani hit a go-ahead RBI double, went out, struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced, and had a 1-2-3 inning. That is what is more valuable than that. It's unbelievable. It's unprecedented. There's no more adjectives. Bro. They need to create an adjective to describe Shohei Ohtani, a new one. So that's enough Shohei talk. We talk about him all the time. I'm sure some people get tired of it. I'll never get tired of it. I know you'll never get tired of it, but some people might not want to hear more about that. But let's talk about a team we haven't talked about much, and that's the Detroit Tigers. Just finished off 4-game sweep of the Cleveland Guardians. The once dominant Cleveland Guardians absolutely demolished by the Tigers. Don't really have a better way of describing it, but is this an indication of the Tigers, who we all kind of thought would be maybe not in the mix to win the Central, but competitive, to say the least? Is this an indication of them starting to heat up a little bit, or the Guardians just coming back down to earth? What do you think?
All right, so I'm going to take
a
little bit of a...
Don't say both.
Okay, all right, I won't. I think predominantly, it's the latter, the Guardians kind of coming back down to earth here. Okay. So that's what I think is the majority of the reason. But at the same time, and then I guess to add to that, the Tigers, I don't think that this is them heating up as much as it's just another instance of what the Guardians just went through. So, you know what I mean? The Guardians had this hot streak, and I don't think that really showcases their something they can do consistently. I could be wrong, but that's just what I feel. So, but I think it's similar for the Tigers right now. I really doubt that they'll keep up this kind of offensive performance of just piling through a team and sweeping them. Again, could be wrong, but that's kind of what I feel. So I think it's predominantly the Guardians sort of coming back down. And who knows, they might come back up. Who knows?
I'm actually going to disagree a little bit. I think the Tigers have had great pitching all year. under the radar, the Dodgers, the Tigers have been just very good on the mound. And all they've been missing is any semblance of any sort of offense at all. Like just an ounce of offensive production, anything. You know, two solo home runs could win a lot of these games. They're losing a lot of close games. The bullpen's been great. The starting pitching's been pretty good. They just can't hit. And this series, man, I'm not saying that the Guardians have one of the best rotations in baseball, but it's nice to see these bats come alive. Riley Green's been a huge addition to this team. Spencer Torkelson's starting to heat up a little bit. What's that dude? Roger Clemens' kid. He's I think in their system or something. He's been hitting pretty well. A lot of names. Javi Baez is starting to heat up as well. So if they can get some of these guys to start hitting like they should be, I'm not saying the Tigers are going to make the playoffs or anything, but you know I could see the Tigers finishing the year around 500. They have the talent to do so. And they've got a great young core. They're another team trending upward, like we've talked about so many times with the Pirates and Orioles. So I think they're starting to heat up. I'm gonna say it's the Tigers playing good more than it's the Guardians playing bad. I will say I do think the Guardians are coming back down to earth a little bit. However, I think this is more indicative of the Tigers improving their baseball. So
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, really like what I'm seeing in Detroit there. So we'll keep an eye out on those Tigers. Crafty little ball club we got there. Now we talked a little bit about prospects there with the Tigers. Big prospect for the Red Sox making his major league debut. The number 45th ranked prospect in all of baseball. It's spelled Brayan. I don't know if it's Brayan or Brian, whatever it is. He's Brayan Bello. Made his major league debut yesterday. Top 50 MLB prospect. He got shelled by the Rays a little bit. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 3 walks to just 2 strikeouts. And on top of this, Chris Sale, who they're paying like $30 million to or something like that, had a rehab start. He got shelled in the minor leagues as well. And he had a little bit of a freak out here. Frank's going to edit it after this, so put the video on the screen here, but tearing stuff off the walls in the clubhouse, breaking walls, just, you know, he's pissed at himself. I'd be frustrated too, man. He's pitched like less than 100 innings since 2019. It's been a very tough route for Chris Sale. But this is more of a question about the Red Sox rotation as a whole. There's a lot of competitive teams right now that could use another arm. Are the Red Sox the biggest? Do the Red Sox have the biggest hole in their rotation right now? I guess.
I would definitely say so. I mean, just given like again, this like AL East race is so close, at least for like wild card spot, you know, second place in the division. I think they definitely have a chance there. So this is a time in which like they definitely need to acquire arms because that's definitely one of their vulnerabilities. So you know, and having a prospect like that, you know, get shelled in the first game is not really a great sign. Again, like you said, I was going to bring this up as well, but that contract with Chris Sale, definitely frustrating to see his performance. I mean, I really hope he can pick it up because he's been one of the coolest pitchers that I've had a chance to like watch in my lifetime. I don't know. I like Chris Sale, so I really wish him the best there. But at the same time, like the Red Sox really got to start thinking about longevity and like if they're going to make a postseason run, how serious they're going to take this. So absolutely, man. Like I think they should definitely be in the market for a pitching, at least one good pitcher, if not a couple. So, for sure.
I mean, some teams I look at, like, you know, like the Dodgers could use another arm, but they'll be fine without one. Totally. Yankees could use another arm, but I think they'll still be fine without one. They have such a stranglehold on the division and whatnot. The Red Sox, I feel like need another arm. You know, they're the team that I look at and I'm like, the offense is good enough to carry them to the postseason, maybe even make a deep postseason run like they did last year. However, the starting pitching I just don't think is there. Nick Pivetta is not gonna, you know, catapult you into World Series contention. Nate Eovaldi's good when he's healthy, but he's, you know, been injury prone. He has had some blow up starts. Chris Sale is a shell of himself even when he comes back. I don't even know if he's going to be a starter, if he's going to be able to work out. He pitches with such intensity. That's my big thing with Sale, why he gets hurt so much. But I definitely think they could use a guy like, I think Luis Castillo would look great in a Red Sox uniform. There's There's a couple of other guys, but it actually leads into our next topic real quick. Frankie Montas would be the other coveted free agent the Red Sox would go after. Montas is going to miss a start. He had an MRI. It revealed some shoulder inflammation. So he had one of those little Dr. Pokey Pokes back there. Got some, I can't remember what they're called. Some sort of injection that makes your shoulder magically better. Masahiro Tanaka style. But with the shoulder inflammation and the fact that he got pulled early from his last start, he's missing a start now. They haven't put him on the injured list yet. They don't think he's going to miss that long of a, that much time. But how much does this affect, first of all, his tradability? Like, is he tradable now that he's, having these injuries? And how much of a hit do you think his trade value is going to take?
Yeah, I think, like, if I were to give it, like, a numerical value, I would say, to me, I feel like value-wise, a potential, like, 20-25% drop. I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly how those numbers work, but that's just, like, kind of the number about it. Because, we're nearing the All-Star break here. Teams that desperately need arms are going to look for anyone that's, not necessarily injured or having, problems with a crucial component to pitching. It's not like, there's some, left hand, because he's right-handed, correct? Yeah. So, like, there's not, like, left-handed, injury or something that he can, like, work through. It's necessary for pitching. So I think that's, like, something that teams are actually going to factor in. But I do think there's teams on the market that are, looking for pitching that are not necessarily in, but maybe budget constraints or just kind of other factors. They're not really in the, they're not able to be as picky. So potentially, recognizing the value that Montas has had and understanding that, in due time or through a little bit of rehabilitation, I still think that that's a great move for a team that needs pitching. So I do think it's a little dent, but I wouldn't say the car is, like, totaled for, you know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I gotcha. Let's see, and he's gonna be. So if they do trade for him, he does have one more year of arbitration left, so he wouldn't be a free agent until 2024. So, I mean, as long as it's not an elbow issue, I think I'd be fine with it,
elbow's worse.
Shoulder, if it's like, they said there's no structural damage, I would be a little bit hesitant, especially if you're a team that, like, is in a rough situation where they can't afford to make that, move. Like, I don't think the Phillies would be a good fit because they're kind of in a tough budget situation, or I think the Red Sox are in a slightly better one, but, like, obviously our Angels would not be in a good situation to do something like that. So
no,
he's not owed that much money or anything. They're only paying him $5 million this year, so I think he'll still be a coveted trade piece for sure. I think he will get dealt. But I will say the A's are they like to get big hauls back for their guys. So if a team doesn't want to give up what they think he's worth, then I think he might end up being an A the rest of the season. I don't think the A's are going to take anything less than what they determine as his market value. So
sure. Yeah, I can see that for sure. So.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we'll keep updated on that around the trade deadline. It says he's only going to miss one start, so hopefully that's the case. Fingers crossed. But yeah, we'll have to see. Now we do have one last thing. A guy who was traded last trade deadline, Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber now with the Philadelphia Phillies, facing his former team in the Washington Nationals, who he had a red-hot June with last season. Coming off a red-hot June in this season. He hit 2 home runs today off the Nationals pitching staff. But the Phillies lost 3-2. Nobody could get anything done outside of Kyle Schwarber. So, with Bryce Harper out and just, the Phillies being the Phillies, second longest active playoff drought in the MLB behind the Mariners, can this be the Phillies' year without Bryce Harper? What are we thinking?
I don't see it personally. I think with Harper in the lineup, there's a shot, but with I don't know, man. Like the Mets, the Braves in this division, I think they've kind of got those first two, spots on lock. So I mean, unless there's a wild card run, but then you got to face the fact that, like, it is possible for wild card teams to make a run in the playoffs, but if things go their way and everything just works out and the chemistry's good and everything, like, it's possible. But I'm not feeling too good about their shot at this point. And it's a bummer because, I like watching the Phillies be successful. I want them to end that drought. So, I mean, who knows? But you and I both know that one or two good players like Schwarber and Harper are not enough to carry a team into the playoffs.
What makes you say that?
Just an itch. But so yeah. There's just something behind you. What is that? But yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. I don't know. Do you have any different thoughts?
I mean, if the wild card race wasn't so competitive, I would give it to them. Man, it's just so tough. I look at this team without Harper in the lineup, and I'm not scared of it. I'm really not. The bullpen is bad. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. The bullpen's bad. I know they've been pitching well lately, but it's still bad. The rotation's good. I'll give them that. They've got pieces there. I think if they go out and make some moves for the bullpen, you know what? That's what I'll say. If they can go out and get at least 2 relievers, then I'm sold. Then I'll call them a wild card team, because I think they could. Honestly, I think they could pass up. I think they could be better than the Padres, depending on the health of Tatis. I think they could be better than the Giants for sure. I think at that point it's just between them and the Cardinals. And I think they're on a very similar level of the Cardinals. The Cardinals do have a much better defense, though, and a much better bullpen at the moment. So their strengths are in different places. It really just depends on who stays hotter the rest of the season. I think the Phillies do have enough to score runs without Harper, but without Harper in the lineup, it is not terrifying. The lineup's still scary, don't get me wrong. Rhys Hoskins, JT Realmuto, Schwarber, Castellanos, still a scary lineup, but Harper instills fear in opponents. Harper, their arm's gonna fall off from throwing their best pitches to Harper every single time, and it's gonna give everybody else more pitches to see. So he makes a big impact. It's gonna be tough without him, but I think they could do it if they acquire at least 2 bullpen arms. That's gonna be my price.
I don't want to write him off. I mean, that offense is still, again, like comparatively speaking to other teams that we might know, or for instance, I think that lineup is great. But like you said, they need some pitching help to be able to hold any offensive leads that they have. And I think it's possible. It's a long season. We're just like halfway through. We're not too far back, so we'll have to see. But it is really a bummer to have Harper out of that lineup for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, anyways, thank you for joining me on this lovely July 7th morning. It has been a pleasure talking some baseball with you, Frank. Thank you guys all for watching. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, help it reach more baseball fans, and sign up at Thrive Fantasy with promo code NMR, and you'll get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, as well as some free entries. It's a great time. Win some money like your boy here. Help support the channel. Be a great time. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more daily MLB content. If you're watching this in the morning, my vlog from Miami should be up around 12 noon this afternoon, 12 Eastern this afternoon. And thanks again so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching Good Morning Baseball.